This is one of them videos that I feel like people can relate to on the streets and inside a prison if you find yourself doing time behind them walls. Okay? One thing I will say before the video starts is if you find yourself hanging out with a certain crowd, whether it's somebody that you're close to or somebody that you think is your dog, don't ever do some shit for them that they want to do themselves. Understand? Because in the long run, you may find out that it wasn't even worth it. Sit back and let's get into this video. I'm the best, finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga, yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around and bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch with locks. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2 comes violent, first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone, I'm a charger, don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see your ass, you gon' leave airlifted. What's up, y'all? You already know, man. KFROG TV back in the building. Y'all go ahead and now do me that solid favor. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. And also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about doing things or sending people to do things for you that you would not do for them, or you would not do it yourself. And vice versa. Alright? And the reason I feel like talking about this is a very important subject and very important topic, due to the fact that I'm pretty sure anybody watching this video knows somebody in their life coming up at a young age or still to this day that would want them to do something that they wouldn't even do themselves, for themselves or for you. You understand? And it kind of makes sense to do this video because that's what a lot of things take place after going down inside a prison. Alright? When you find yourself incarcerated, you're going to find yourself hanging out with people that you feel like you can relate to. That you feel like's on the same page as you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got the same vision. Whether y'all are from the same area or not. Or rep the same gang, the same organization, the same nation. Y'all feel like y'all bleed the same colors. Knowing we all bleed the same color. But in the end, you're going to find out. And you're going to peep and you're going to see from a distance that a lot of people want people to do things that they wouldn't even do themselves, okay? And my opinion on this is, if you just take a step back and observe who it is you're hanging out with, get to learn the character that you're surrounding yourself by, and realize that 9 times out of 10 will be you doing something. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people get caught up on what's going on around them, that they don't really peep game, and they don't really realize that out of all the shit that's going down, and out of all the people that claim they're living like that, it would normally be you. You'd be the one that's pushing the image. You'd be the one that's doing everything. You're the one that's retaliating or striking first. You got to realize the person that you're doing it for, or the person who wants you to do it, would they really do it themselves, okay? Perfect example. When it comes to being in a gang, okay? Back in the day, gangs were more about it, okay? Not saying they're not about it today. Just let me break it down a little bit. But back in the day, the big homies, the heads, the higher people, they would do shit themselves. They would gang their spot by doing things themselves. You know what I'm saying? If there was something that needed to be done, someone needed to be stabbed, hurt, even murdered, whatever it is, they would do it. They wanted to prove, and they wanted to be the head of an organization. They wanted that higher spot. They did whatever they could do. But a lot of times nowadays, in this, era, the people who are above and beyond won't do nothing. And it isn't just because, okay, well, they got ranked now, they don't need to, that's what everybody up under them's for. All right? That makes sense. If you're a king, why are you going to do shit that you can have pawns do? You feel me? But the fact that today, in this era, a lot of people will bring people home and make people a gang member up under them and everything, just to have them do what they won't do themselves. You understand? It makes sense if a war's going down You know, the king must be protected, or the head must be protected, or whatever it is. So everybody else, like, you know, takes care of it. Them are the soldiers. But as far as like knowing that that same person that you're doing this because he told you to will not do it himself, will kind of make it to where like, damn, dog, what if he was the last resort? What if we wasn't here right now to do this? What if he was the only person left that could do this? Would he strike or would he fold? And you would know who the bigger person is where you're at, and you would know what type of character they are. You get what I'm saying? I'm on some shit like, I'm not doing nothing that you won't do. You feel me? That's why I could never make it as being a gang member. You feel me? Because somebody telling you what to do over and over and over again is one thing. You know what you signed up for. You know you got to do whatever is got to be done when it comes to your nation. But as far as, like I said, knowing that the person telling you to do that wouldn't doing themselves, kind of makes it to where like, damn, well, if we're still in this war, you know, and we're still, you know, up there with the people we're going to war against, our rivalry or whatever it is, it's kind of like we wouldn't be there if it wasn't for me, because I'm the one that's applying the pressure. I'm the one that's doing everything that you won't do. You feel what I'm saying? Now, how many people do y'all know? Or how many of y'all know somebody that just wants to see some shit, but never wants it to be them that does it? You feel me? Even at a young age, you got that one person that will try to talk you into doing something you know you shouldn't be doing. They try to tell you, do this, do that, do that. You know, hanging out with a couple people, and there's always that one person that thinks he could call the shots and everything. You feel me? But he won't do it himself. You do never want to surround yourself by somebody like that inside a prison. Okay? The streets is one thing, because you could just walk away and go home. When you finally catch on, you could separate. Skirt, I ain't hanging out with that person no more. Inside of prison's different. You'll catch on to that, it's too late. Especially if they know you'll do something and they won't do something, because you're a threat now. They know you'll do something. So all they're going to do is find somebody else that will do something and try to send them your direction. You see? That's why you got to pay attention to the people you hang out with, and you got to know who it is you're putting your neck on the line for. You feel me? Because a lot of people just want to see somebody else do it. And me personally, like I said, I'm not doing nothing that you won't do. Okay? If it comes down to there's two dudes over there and they owe us some money and you want me to go collect the money and shit like that, all right, you know, fuck it. They owe us bread. Let's do it. But if it comes down to where I'm like, all right, look, bro, well, you go over there first and I'm going to do this. I ain't going other than, bro, I don't even want them to know I'm involved. You know, I'm not none of this and that, this and like, what? I'll be looking at you like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't on that shit. So I'm putting my face on the line, my neck on the line, my life on the line, and you want to do the same. See, that's where a lot of people get misconfused. They get friendships mixed in with business. And you got to understand the difference. You got to understand when you are being used as a pawn rather than when you're on the same level as the other person that you're around. You feel me? And there's a difference when there's a group of 10 people and out of them 10 people, 7 people are doing what's being told and the other 3 aren't, because they feel like they got higher power and they ain't in the position to have to do what the other 7 people are doing. You kind of like get sidetracked and you don't really realize that, damn, we're the ones everybody's scared of. We're the ones applying pressure. We're the ones keeping us still in this war. We're the ones that are, you know, our homeboys that we're with every day, us soldiers are getting stabbed and killed on the streets and different shit like that, while these other ones are just pointing fingers on who's to go next. Go after him. Go after him. Go after that guy. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's different if you know that that individual would do the same thing that they're telling you to do, if they had to. And then you're doing it because you don't want the king to come out of the castle or something. You feel me? But if they refuse to do it, if they are not a war-built, militant-minded individual, they should not be sending you on no militant-minded shit. Straight up, you shouldn't be expecting that person to rock like you're rocking if you know that person is not living like that. You see what I'm saying? That's why you got to make sure you don't be nobody's crash dummy. You don't be nobody's pawn.
Never do something that another person will not do themselves, especially if they're the ones telling you to do it. Because you think about it. If you got 3 people that decide to go commit a crime, they're like, all right, you know what? We're going to steal this car and go shoot this person, right? You got 1 person that's going to steal the car, right? The other 2 ain't going to steal the car because they're going to want someone to do something first. So it's like, you know, when it comes to like jumping in a pool, nobody wants to jump in first. Everybody says, you jump in, I'll jump in. That's just a way to get out of it. Or like it was back in the day when you get in a fist fight in school. You feel me? And y'all get in each other's face and shit. And you say, swing, you swing. Oh, you hit me first. You hit me first. Nobody really wants to hit nobody. You see what I'm saying? They're just using that as a tactic because they know that individual is not going to hit them first. Just like with jumping in the pool, nobody wants to jump in first because in their mind, they think that their other homeboy is not going to jump in if they jump in. So nobody wants to go first. So when it comes to stealing a car, going to commit a crime, and shooting somebody, out of them 3 people, you're going to have 1 person that will steal the car, but the other 2 people don't want to do it until the car's stolen. They're not getting in until the car's stolen. Then when y'all get in the car and y'all drive somewhere, you're going to have somebody that's going to shoot, but the other 2 people are not going to want to shoot. The dude who stole the car might not want to shoot. He feels like his job's done. He's the one that stole the car. You feel me? Then they get caught stealing the car and doing the shooting. They all 3 get charged with the same charge. At the end of the day, there's going to be one of them, the one who didn't steal the car and the one who didn't shoot. Out of them 3, that's going to feel like he didn't do nothing wrong. He just got in a car he didn't know was stolen, and he didn't shoot nobody, so he shouldn't get no time. You feel me? But he knew the car was stolen, and they were going to shoot somebody. You see what I'm saying? And he probably 9 times out of 10 amped the person up to steal the car, told him to come pick him up, knew it was stolen, was down with the cause, and 9 times out of 10 was down with the cause of telling the person that was the shooter to shoot. You feel me? But in all reality, he wasn't going to do it himself. He didn't steal the car, and he didn't go shoot either. You see what I'm saying? That's why you got to be careful around the people that you hang out with, the people that you surround yourself with, because at the end of the day, a lot of people just point the finger. That's it. They tell people what to go do, and a lot of times it's something that they will not do themselves. To me, it makes no sense to do something that somebody tells you to do when they will not do that shit themselves for them or for you. You're doing it because they asked you to or told you to, or because you needed to do it. They will not do the same thing. They will not keep the same energy. Before you know it, you're going to realize like, damn, I'm the only one that is literally doing this shit. So in the end, you look like a pawn in this game of chess. When you realize that you shouldn't be doing something nobody else would do themselves, you're going to be able to identify the difference between a friend or an associate. You know what I'm saying? People get that misconfused. You think anybody you're cool with is a friend. But no, a lot of them are associates, you see? And when you sit back and you observe this shit and you realize, damn, how many people have done stuff because this individual told them to do it? How many people has he told to do something and they've went for it? So you think that since everyone else is doing it, you want to do it too. And then before you realize, when shit hits the fan, now all y'all's hands are tied, all y'all are, you know, in a position where you can't do anything, and it all falls on that same person that you swore is about it just as much, and they fumble. You're going to be like, damn, look how much time I wasted. Look how many situations I got involved in when I didn't even need to. All I had to do was say, I ain't on that shit. I'm straight. I ain't on that. It ain't happening, bro. You do it. You do it with me. You feel me? You want to go over here and jump out on these people and shit? Well, shit, you gonna jump out with me? We ain't finna just pull up and me jump out and me do it dolo. Shit, let's do it together then. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that shit's equal. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, on the streets, it's easier to fall back from someone when you realize that they ain't going to do what they want you to do. You feel me? That they're not going to do the same thing. It's easier to fall back and not hang out with them. Prison's a different ball game. Okay? You can't just fall back from somebody because you know they're not going to do what you will do. You feel me? If they tell you to go over here to this dorm and extort this person and bring back their canteen to them. You feel me? And you're in a gang. You know, this is what they're telling you that needs to be done. You don't see nothing wrong with doing it. You feel me? If you decide to say, hell no, I'm straight, it ain't happening. And then you're like, you realize that person ain't living like that themselves. So you're like, nah, I ain't doing it. Whether you're in a gang with them or not, actually. You ain't even got to be affiliated. It could just be a friend of yours. That's one of them people that like to tell people to do shit that they will not do. And then when you decide to not hang out with them, like I said, you will be considered a threat. There isn't no just not hang out with them and be walking around the compound. No. They're either going to send someone at you. 9 times out of 10, there's going to be consequences and repercussions to you not wanting to hang out with them now, just because you know the real them isn't about what you be about. You see what I'm saying? That's why prison and the streets are two different things. You know, you get a lot of things done in both places, but it's easier, obviously, to get away with it on the streets than it is in prison. Because in prison, it's a world inside of a world. So if you stop fucking with this dude because you know this dude want to do the same thing that you're doing, that he's telling you to do, he's going to know you know the real him. So it ain't nothing to put some money out there on you. He might not do it himself because he ain't living like that. Or he might be living like that when it comes to you, but he just want to do something to somebody else. You get what I'm saying? That he's telling you to do. Might be picking faces. You see what I'm saying? And it's better to, identify these type of individuals from the get-go. Because if you find yourself incarcerated, you are going to find yourself around people who want you to do shit that they will not do themselves. Even if they're not directly telling you to go do it, they'll be the ones that are hanging out with you, smoking a cigarette, vibing and shit, and they'll be putting seeds in your ear. Like, man, we should this, we should that. Man, I said we go do this, we do that. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, it's going to feel like a we thing. And then before you know it, it's going to be you doing it. Straight up. It's going to be you doing it by yourself at the end of it all. Something's going to happen. Oh, I got to call out, dog. But nah, if you do, bro, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to call out. I got to be at medical at this time. Or some type of way. They're just planting the seed in there because they don't want to look like they're just straight up directing it at you. You feel me? Nobody wants to show their hand. So nobody's going to direct something for you to go do to where you can obviously see that they will not do it themselves. So instead, they're going to try to make it look like y'all are going to do it. You feel me? And then they might have 3 friends and they're the one that won't do it. They done gotten all 3 people's ears. Told number 1 that number 2 and 3 are going to go down there and handle it. Told number 2 that number 1 and 3 are going to do it. And told number 3 that number 2 and 1 are going to go with them to do it. Now all 3 agree because they think each one of them were going to go down there and do it. But in all reality, he just told them that so he didn't have to do it himself. You see what I'm saying? That's exactly how it goes down in prison. You know what I'm saying? You would literally tell somebody, hey, you and such finna go down there and do what's it called? Oh, what's his name's down? Yeah, he said he's down as long as you're going with him. He's waiting on you. And then you can go tell the other person the same exact thing about the other individual. Yeah, bro just told me he's ready, so y'all boys go down there. And then when they click up, they're going to do the mission. And they think because each one wants to do it. You see, that's how grimy it is. And people want everybody else to do their dirty work. That's why you got to be careful with the people you surround yourself by. You feel me? In my opinion, don't do something that another person will not do themselves, for themselves, or for you. And my other opinion is don't send someone out there to do something that you will not do yourself. You feel me? Because you think about it. That's flaw in my eyes. I would never send nobody out there to do something that I won't do myself. And that's why I say this era of gangs different. Because people will literally try to, get young bucks up under their wing and shit like that and make them a gang member and be sending them to do things that they will not do themselves. But the young bucks just want to do it because they think this is a gang. They think their gang loves them or their hanging out friends love them. And in reality, they're just having you do something that they will not do. You're a pawn. You feel me? And by the time you realize it, years done went by. The whole goal is not for you to realize it right away that you're a pawn. You feel me? It's going to take a while for you to realize it. And then when it all comes down, you done did so much dirt and did so many things throughout them years that you're not thinking, well, damn, all the way from when I first joined, I've been doing this type of shit. So they've been using me from the get-go. And it don't matter if you put 1 year worth of work in or 15 years worth of work in. When they decide it's time to strip you and they decide it's time to take everything from you, your rank or X you out and shit like that, it's still going to be the same ending regardless. You feel me? It don't matter if you put 15 years in and 1 year in. When they decide to X you out that gang and they decide we don't want you no more, Only difference between the 1 year and the 15 years is the time that was wasted. You feel me? It's still going to end the same. No matter how long you've been in the organization, no matter how long you've been in that gang, it's still going to end the same if they're Xing you out, regardless. All because you didn't want to do something. Damn, I gave y'all 15 years worth of me. You know what I'm saying? And just because I don't want to do this, because I know he won't do it himself, y'all want to X me out? And I guarantee you, all the other ones on the compound, even the ones that don't agree with it, are going to do what the head tells them. You feel me? There's people that get stabbed up by their own brothers that do like them. By ones that hate that it had to be them. But they don't want to be in the same boat as you. So they're going to do what they're told regardless. And you got to remember that. You feel me? That's my opinion. That's my take on the video. Y'all drop it in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Remember, when you find yourself hanging out with somebody, or if you find yourself in some type of organization or fucking clique or group or whatever it is, make sure the shit's mutual. Make sure you're not just doing something that other people will not do. You feel me? Because when tables turn, and they will turn, and when it's time for that person to have to do something, are they going to do it or not? Are they going to, stab, fight, fold, run? You got to know what would happen if they had to get involved. And I've seen a lot of people lay down. Heads, big homies, causing wars on the compound. This and that. Shit gets too reckless. A lot of their main soldiers that were on that done got stabbed and shipped and got put in confinement and shit like that. Now they're out there with not that many soldiers. First thing they do is fold and flop. They don't go stabbing. That's what I've seen with my own eyes. But not saying all of them are like that. There's plenty of them that are, about that shit. That will stab also. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody wants to be the hardest gangster. You feel me? But at the same time, there was a lot that are in position due to the literature, due to the knowledge. They know they're lit. They know more things than a lot of other people do. They're smarter. You feel me? Rather than on Front Street, head first, a knucklehead. They won't be a foot soldier. Instead, they're more militant in their mind. But when it comes down for them to have to show their blade, they don't. You feel me? That's my opinion. And if you know somebody growing up when you were younger, whether it was in school, whether it's now, somebody that will tell you to do something, constantly trying to amp you up to do some shit, and they won't do that, then you know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. Because I could think of every, every era in my life. I could think of from when I was in elementary school, middle school, high school, when I was in the detention center, the program, when I was in the county, to the chain gang, to on the streets, to now, to anything. And I can think of different people, from different times, that would try to amp people up to do shit that I know they won't do themselves. And this is just a video and a reminder for people out there. Whether you're going to prison, whether you're in prison, or whether you're just somebody on the streets that thinks everybody's your friend and don't know the difference between friends and associates. This video is for you. This video is for you to identify that before it's too late. Because you don't want to find yourself doing something that individual would not do. And then next thing you know, you catch a case and it's too late. And you're like, damn, you thought we were in this shit together, brother to brother. And you find out, no, it ain't. You was really just a pawn. It was easier for him to talk you into do it than it was for him to do it himself. That's what I got with this one. But anyways, y'all, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Like I always say, y'all make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, clout chasers, pump faking ass, lying ass people off YouTube, motherfucking certified rats, people that got whiskers for life, people that you can't even see them on YouTube. You ever seen that video? If you look them up, he's on Instagram. He's like a guy that crawls around with a rat head on in New York. I feel like there's so many people on YouTube that anytime I see them, I just see that guy's in my mind. I'm like, oh, look, there he goes. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many people out there that think snitching's cool. Your ass shouldn't have been getting involved if your ass was going to point the finger. That's how I look at it when it comes to these snitching ass people out here. You feel me? But don't let nobody knock you off your pivot. Like I always say, do your own thing, stay in your own lane, get you some money. Till next time, this the one and only. I am my team, Frog.